Hey Studio Pals, welcome back to the channel. We have another show coming down on us in about a week and a half, and it's a Halloween style Renaissance fair called Feast of the Goblin King. We do a lot of peripheral things for that show, not just ceramics. We do coaster sets and little wooden boxes and divination sets and ruins and things of that nature, all out of plywood and various other types of wood. And since we have to produce those and we're still doing the testing on the WeCREAT Vision Pro 45 watt laser, I thought we would take this opportunity to run the WeCREAT Vision Pro with LightBurn, since all of my files are in LightBurn, and see how well that works. We'll do a quick little setup in LightBurn, and then we'll go ahead and start making things with it. I've got the Vision Pro hooked up to the laptop, and we're opening LightBurn. LightBurn has a trial version for 30 days, then you'll have to buy the code to unlock it for about $99. You can see here that the Vision Pro is showing up on the COM port number 7. From the camera control tab, if you hit update overlay, you should get an image of your camera. If you don't, go down here to COM and select choose, and then just go back to your COM port. That should loosen up that connection. And if you don't like the way it looks, just go ahead and hit the fade slider, and it'll look just like it does in Makit software. Now we're going to go up into File and Open, and I am going to go into my laser files and find a LightBurn file that is very difficult to cut. It is our Corvus Coffin, and we use that a lot, and it comes in, and you can see that it's removed the camera. So I'll go ahead and push that up and hit update overlay again, and there's our board that we placed in. And I'm going to go ahead and move this. Boy, it's a tight fit right about there, and we know that that's going to be pretty good because we adjusted our camera. I'll show that later. And I'll go into the Cuts dialog tab, and you can see your fill and your line selections. And so this is probably about where it needs to be. I got 150 speed and 65 power. I don't think I'm going to change that much, but that's for the engrave. Now the line, I've got a little bit too much power. I've got 98 here, so let's change that down to 80 because we want to save power as much as possible. And I'll go ahead and bump the speed up to something like 9. That should work. 10 we could probably deal with. I'm going to turn perforation mode off. I have to use that for the X tool. We'll talk about that later. And all of this looks really good. I'm going to show how to set up the Vision Pro with LightBurn in a future episode, but for now I'm simply going to use it to cut some of these existing files that I use with the X tool S1. And after I've hit the frame button and made sure that the head is going around where it should be going, we're just going to go ahead and hit the start button and get this thing cutting. There's quite a few parts here. I am going to endeavor to organize this so that you can get an idea of what all this is going to look like. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense now. So, yeah, there's a few pieces, but a lot of this stuff is waste. Like these pieces, they come out of the inside of this. Peace. And I did a lot of retooling on this thing. Basically converted it from a 3mm basswood design to a 5mm plywood design. While I've done Norton white tile episodes before, we'll start by simply cleaning these 11-cent tiles. Yes, you heard that correctly. These are 11 cents a piece. And I believe I got these at Menards. I use Crud Cutter, but any degreaser will work really good. Now I'm going to use the old titanium mixture that I made. I've actually shown how to mix this up in a previous episode. Take the tile that is now clean, and I use an airbrush. This is an old Pache airbrush. It's easy to clean. And simply go over the tile once in a spray painting pattern. And then I put this aside and let it dry. I will put a second coat on these. Here they are with their second coat. And now, after they've dried, I'm simply going to place one in the Vision Pro, making sure it's more or less level. And we'll go back into Makit software, not LightBurn, because this has been doing really well with the Norton white tile technique. Go ahead and refresh our camera view. There's our tile. I'm going to go in now and import an image. And this image is an old skull image that I use for Halloween a lot. It's just a JPEG. It's going to come in and say, hey, this is really big. And I'll say, who cares? We'll go ahead and select it and take our sizing icons and size it to the right size. Now I want this to overlap this tile, so I'll go ahead and make it just a little bit bigger than the tile itself. Now we know this is an image. Try to get it right over the top of the thing. Okay, now we know this is an image, so we're going to go up under here to image processing, and we can look at it. I'm going to pull the grayscale. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Maybe put the brightness up just a little bit because I haven't run this thing in a while and it's all kind of trial and error. I know that Stucky works better on this image than Jarvis does because I get a moire pattern bad when I use Jarvis on this one. I'm looking between the two, and it doesn't look like it here, but it really does. I've done it before. So let's get the resolution up. This says it's 250. It starts at 250, and I know this thing is like 600, so let's just cut it in the middle-ish. Go 400 res on the dots per inch. Yeah, you can really see the difference there. And you zoom out. We could probably go a little higher with this due to the fact that it is a 600, but that's fine. Say confirm. And we're ready to go. Let's go into our power settings. Now, you don't use much power when you're doing the Norton white tile technique, and I found out through a grid that I'll show later that that's 35 for the Vision Pro, and we're going to go at 85 speed. Whoops, sometimes it flips over if you touch it. Let's go back to 35. Now, number passes 1, and that is what we're going to end up with. Let's go ahead and start this thing. Once you get into your process status, you can actually see where your overlapping image goes over whatever you've got inside your laser bed. And so this is pretty close. We'll go ahead and send this. 50 minutes is a little bit long as far as Norton white tile is concerned, but that's because the Vision Pro uses unidirectional engraving, and that makes it a lot more accurate, especially for Norton white tile. So I hope you enjoyed that view into some of the real world aspects of what we do with our laser engravers. The WeCREAT Vision Pro 45 watt seems to be doing really well as far as our standard wares that we take to Renaissance fairs and little events around our local area. I suggest purchasing this laser if you want something that's slightly above one of the bargain bin type lasers. This one will go the distance for you and be a good asset for you. Most of the things we do center around complex little boxes, and the coffin's probably one of the more complex things we that we do with a laser engraver. If you can do this with a laser engraver, you can pretty much do anything. I will be doing an episode on how to hook the Vision Pro up to Lightburn. There are some nuances that you will probably have to know in order to get that to work properly right off the bat for you. Next week's episode, we will be at the Halloween Renaissance Fair, and I'll be showing some of these things that we've created with the WeCREAT Vision Pro 45 being sold, and some of those antics, so stay tuned for that. Hey, thanks for subscribing, and make sure and hit the bell notification icon, because that way you'll know that I've put something out there. I usually put something out every Saturday or Sunday, so you can just come back to this channel and there'll be something new for you to watch. Thanks for tuning in.